Most students prepare for the thesis defense as if that's where everything is decided. In reality, examiners have already formed important impressions long before the thesis defense even starts, sometimes as early as reading your abstract. If you don't understand how this works, you may be preparing for the wrong thing. So in this video, I will share with you 5 concrete things that you should do before the thesis defense that actually make a real difference. Not myths, not motivational nonsense, just how this works in practice. Number 1, write the abstract and introduction as if they matter the most. Let's start with a reality check. As an examiner, I often already form a rough expectation for the thesis grade after reading the abstract and the intro. Not the exact final grade, but the general direction. A clear abstract, a focused introduction, a properly defined research question, these immediately signal, okay, this is probably going to be a good one. And this is exactly why many thesis supervisors keep telling students to write the intro and the abstract at the end, because by then you finally know what your thesis is exactly about, so that you can be really clear and focused when writing these 2 things, which most examiners would read first when grading your work. This is that all-important first impression. So write your abstract and intro as if they matter the most. Put in some real effort there. Number 2, fix those small things that create big doubts. Here's something students consistently underestimate: small errors. Those in-text citation mistakes, sloppy references, spelling and language errors, yes, these are small things, but they are also very obvious. Look, your professors write research papers day in and day out. They are trained not to make these little mistakes. So when they see these errors, they notice them immediately. These small errors jump off the page at examiners because they are so obvious. Yes, no one fails a thesis because of a single typo. That's true. But errors like these have an impact on the reader. They create doubt early. And doubt is not something you would want. You know, think of it this way. If these easy things aren't right, examiners start wondering about the harder stuff. So make sure you fix these little things that can create big doubts. Number 3, be intellectually honest. Don't exaggerate. Another thing examiners pick up on very quickly is overclaiming and exaggerating. A fundamental principle in research is extraordinary claims require extraordinary proof. So do you have the proof to actually back up your claims? Results that suddenly solve problems that they clearly can't, findings that shift the paradigm that they simply don't, or limitations that mysteriously do not exist. These are red flags. Ironically, students who can openly say this was a limitation or this was beyond the scope, they would actually come across as more research competent, not less. So be intellectually honest. Don't exaggerate too much. Number 4, prepare to demonstrate ownership of your thesis. For most students, the thesis defense is not about demonstrating brilliance. It's more of a confirmation round for the examiners. That's actually how these grading deliberations usually unfold behind the scenes among examiners. You are there to reassure the examiners that you did all this, not an AI tool or a ghostwriter, that you understand and can justify your choices and decisions in the research process. For most students, that is what the defense is for. That's why examiners ask questions to check, do you understand and can you explain what you wrote? Can you justify key methodological choices? Are your verbal answers consistent with the written work? Are you able to think on your feet and reason logically even when challenged and under pressure? They are not testing memory, they are testing ownership. So prepare to justify, explain, reason, and elaborate. Don't just recite your thesis. And, as we've just talked about, don't exaggerate. Number 5, prepare for the defense to tip the balance. This is an important nuance. For most students, as we have just discussed, the defense is a confirmation round. But that is not true for everyone. Sometimes examiners could disagree somewhat, and I've seen this happen quite regularly in deliberations and calibration sessions. One examiner thinks the thesis is satisfactory, the other one thinks it's good, or one is leaning towards a pass, while the other is still not yet completely convinced. In these borderline cases, the defense becomes genuinely decisive. Because in these situations, examiners often think, So we see the thesis a little bit differently. Let's see how the student handles the defense. Can the student explain and justify the choices that they made? Was the reasoning perhaps not entirely clear in the written thesis, but solid once explained? That is when the defense really matters. A calm, structured defense can tip the balance upward. A messy or inconsistent one can do the opposite. So yes, in most cases, the defense confirms what the examiners already think. But when the evaluation is close, the defense can make a qualitative difference, from satisfactory to good, or from marginal fail to marginal pass. That's why it always pays to prepare seriously for your defense. So, if you take one thing away from this video, let it be this. Most of the important decisions about your thesis grade are actually shaped long before your thesis defense. They form when the examiners read your thesis, notice patterns, identify strengths, and quietly flag weaknesses. For most students, the defense simply confirms those impressions. However, when things are close, when a thesis could reasonably go either way, the defense can tip the balance and make a real difference. That's why putting effort into prepping well for the defense can really pay off. If you're watching this video before your thesis has been submitted, then the message is even clearer. Put real effort into how your thesis reads. We talked about the importance of the abstract and the intro. We discussed how small details can sometimes have a surprisingly big impact. All these things add up, you know. If you understand how examiners think before the defense, you will walk into that room far better prepared and far calmer. In the next video, I will discuss why sometimes a good thesis can end up with a bad grade. What's really going on when that happens? So be sure to check out my future videos. As always, I invite you to leave your thoughts and comments down below. For those who are new to this channel, I invite you to check out my other thesis defense videos in my playlist, from how to handle tough examiners, to common mistakes, to answering difficult methodology questions. I am sure you will find those videos interesting and helpful. Thanks for watching this Ranywayz random video. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.